Our next article of the day. This takes place in New Zealand, and it's about being safe when applying for overseas jobs. Migrant paid for job to get visa for immigration but loses wife to employer instead. A migrant worker claims he paid for a job for both him and his wife to obtain immigration visas, but is now fighting for 2,300 hours of unpaid work after his wife ran away with the employer and had his baby. The employer has denied all allegations against him, and his wife claims he was lying. The man has taken his complaint to the Employer Relations Authority, claiming he was coerced into agreeing to pay $50,000 in installments by his employer for the job for his wife to work as a grocery store manager. He has so far paid $34,000. The man understood that as a store manager, his wife would be accepted as qualified for skilled employment by Immigration New Zealand, and this would allow them to meet the requirements for being granted residency under the visa laws. An expression of interest for a residence visa under this category was lodged and accepted on March 21st last year, with the wife as the principal applicant. The man, who did not want to be named, worked with his wife at the store for 98 hours a week, but was unpaid, while his wife was paid 35 hours but has to return the pay. Subsequently, the employer arranged for the man to work at a kiwi fruit orchard so he could have the freedom to make advances on his wife. According to the complaint, the employer succeeded in his advances to the extent that the man's wife became pregnant with his child, left her marriage, and moved in with the employer. The employer convinced the complainant's wife that she should leave her husband and live with him because he could guarantee her that she would be able to obtain a grant of a residence visa as his partner, it was alleged in the complaint. The woman gave birth to a boy earlier this year, and the employer is said to be the father of the child. The man was advised by Immigration New Zealand that his wife had informed the agency that she was no longer living with him in the marriage or partnership relationship, meaning he will not be linked to the application for residency. He estimates that he had worked about 2,321 hours without pay at the grocery shop and is now seeking the return of the $34,000 he has paid so far for the purchase of the job offer and $40,000 for the work he has done. The man was also seeking an appropriate amount of compensation for the hurt of loss of dignity, humiliation, and anguish. The employer denied the allegations and claimed the man was lying. The wife also claimed the man was lying and that she had been tortured by him. The employer's lawyer said that the client denied all allegations made and that they considered the man had been engaged in blackmail tactics to illegally extort the monies from the employer. He accepted the employer and received payment for providing the job, but the amount paid was disputed. In a letter dated January 10th, the lawyer said his client considered the allegations to be vicious in an attempt at extortion. Okay, so stay tuned for my thoughts on this article. I bring this article up because it's personal to me and a sign of the times. I myself took a job overseas over a decade ago because of a lack of jobs in my home country. And now the situation comes up again, but it's 10 times worse. So, I want you, the listener, to be prepared when somebody offers you a job during your hardship of life. I bring this article up as many people are offered jobs to places beyond their borders of origin. Many accept to better their life or the life of their family. Most don't do research. Cases like this have happened in Vietnam to fishermen sent to China. Sometimes this happens in Korea, where the workers go to factories. The EU, it's happened to workers in Italy and Spain, usually dirty work. When you think about accepting job offers from a stranger or company, do your research before you go. Get references, find out whom can help you if a problem arises. Pause before you take a leap of faith off someone else's promise, as they usually put themselves and their interests before you. Hi, the small clip you saw was brought to you by Loyal World News. If you like what you saw, you should subscribe and look up my daily Loyal World News report for its full version. If you don't want to watch it on YouTube, prefer to be on the road, I also have a podcast in every full-length video I put up.